this real life right now? Was that one of the worst Super Bowl halftime shows? Well, I would say it might be. What I do know for sure is that was a massive step down from last year's Super Bowl halftime show. When it was over, I was like, that's it? Is there more? Is there someone else coming out? Last year's Super Bowl halftime show was absolutely legendary. There's no beating that, which is probably why everyone bailed on it. No one wanted to do it. Last year you had Eminem, Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, 50 Cent, who almost passed out while hanging upside down. He put his whole career on the line for this one. We had Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg. This year we had just Rihanna. It was just Rihanna. But it wasn't her fault that she was the only performance for this year's Super Bowl halftime show. Taylor Swift dropped out of the halftime show, and many artists refused to even perform. Isn't this like the biggest night? The biggest like promo for yourself? I would just create a new album and then perform at the halftime show and then sell it. Some of the people that dropped out apparently was Jay-Z, Adele, Metallica. Imagine Metallica. I thought this was a huge honor for people to do, but people are turning it down. What am I missing here? The halftime show just felt like a Rihanna concert to me. Nothing spectacular. Definitely not a Super Bowl that I'm going to remember. I think Shakira and J-Lo from 2020, yeah, that was very memorable. People are still talking about that till this day. Or is that just me? I really hope that next year's Super Bowl can bring on some legendary talent and the Super Bowl isn't just one big fail. Let me know, who do you guys want to see at next year's Super Bowl halftime show?
Rihanna is all the talk lately. She just made a huge comeback at the Super Bowl halftime show after taking a break from performing. During the Super Bowl halftime show, Rihanna performed all her hit classics in front of millions of people. And a number of questionable and controversial things happened while she was on stage. I'll be covering this and more only in today's video. Rihanna took stage during the Super Bowl halftime show rocking a red jumpsuit and red bodysuit with latex detail around her chest. She certainly popped in that outfit while her backup dancers wore all white outfits. The red stage Rihanna performed on complemented her red outfit perfectly. Rihanna brought all the nostalgia during her performance as she sang all her classic viral hits. She started her performance singing "B Better Have My Money" and ended her performance singing "Diamonds." One thing that's for sure is that Rihanna's vocals are unmatched. She sounded absolutely incredible. She had the audience singing and cheering along. But one moment in particular has left viewers stunned. During one of her songs, Rihanna grabbed her crotch and did a few hip thrusts. What made things even weirder is when she raised her hand to her nose after doing so, looking as if she smelt her hand. Now, if you're a fan of Rihanna, then you know she is famous for doing this MJ-inspired crotch grab move. Over the years, Rihanna has done this move in her performances, and every time it sparks controversy. In 2013, while performing at her concert at the All Phones Arena in Australia, Rihanna kept grabbing her crotch. After the concert, photos of her grabbing herself circulated online and made headlines. Not only that, but in her 2011 music video for You Da One, Rihanna does this move multiple times. After this music video surfaced, a lot of people commented on it saying that it was gross for her to do that. To me, it's Rihanna. I don't find her gross at all. But parents did not want their children watching her do this sexual move, so she received a lot of complaints and backlash. So Rihanna is not a stranger to controversy at all. And during the halftime show, Rihanna had fun with this dance move. She knew what she was doing and was very cheeky about it. Definitely made her live up to her Bad Girl Riri brand. What did you think of the halftime show if you watched it? Let me know in the comments below. Rihanna just performed at the Super Bowl halftime show live in front of millions of people, and her vocals did not disappoint. The star took stage rocking a red jumpsuit with latex leather detail around her chest, while her backup dancers wore completely white outfits. Performing tons of hit songs, Rihanna definitely rocked the stage. Rihanna performed songs such as Work, Umbrella, Wild Thoughts, Diamonds, and more. All of her classic hits, if you ask me. and fans were wondering how she would do, especially since in her recent interviews, she opened up about being nervous. In one interview, Rihanna said, and I quote, "The scariest part? Knowing that Barbados is watching. People are hard to impress, but they love their own. They're going to represent, and I'm going to represent right back for them." She felt immensely pressured to make Barbados proud. Not only that, but Rihanna hasn't been on tour in 7 years and took a long break from making music. Needless to say, Rihanna still managed to own the stage. However, of course, fans had a lot to say about her performance. Although her vocals were amazing, a lot of people were saying that her dance moves were subpar. Rihanna let the backup dancers do most of the work while she just did little leg and hand movements. However, as the performance went on, Rihanna got way more into the performance and started to let her personality shine. Halfway through her show, she started to get more into the songs and into her dance moves. And then, while dancing, she did a very questionable move where she grabbed her crotch and then licked her lips. Okay, Rihanna, I see you. She definitely was doing a bit of a Michael Jackson crotch grab with that move. And then she went on to give her butt some little slaps. But that wasn't the only scandalous dance move featured in her performance. During her song Work, Rihanna got very into the song and her backup dancers got on the floor, thrusting their hips in the air in sync. It would have been crazy if Rihanna got down on the ground and joined them too. But there was one moment where Rihanna did join in with her backup dancers. While singing Pour It Up, Rihanna got down and started twerking with her dancers. Now this caused a huge reaction. Audience members started screaming and cheering her on. I mean, if I was there, I too would be cheering my heart out for Rihanna. This was definitely a halftime performance we will never forget, especially since it's Rihanna's debut after having a child with her partner A$AP Rocky and after taking a huge break from performing and from her music.
Rihanna brought her talent back to the stage on Sunday night 5 years after she last performed there. Rihanna's performance of her hits went through them in a surprising, unadorned way. She performed her tight 12-minute set with dancers and a backing band despite rumors that she might be joined by guests during the performance. She may have been referring to a guest we couldn't quite see, it turns out. Her representatives confirmed that she is expecting another child after the performance was over. She opened the show with her 2015 song Be Better Have My Money, surrounded by scores of dancers in the same white outfit, leading into a medley of some of her biggest dance hits including Where Have You Been, Only Girl in the World, and We Found Love. The pace changed when she sang the first notes of her 2016 hit Work, which led to Wild Thoughts and Pour It Up, to which she twerked. Her career-defining songs gave the audience some jams to vibe to during one of the best halftime shows ever.
The X Factor performance. Only Rihanna would get in trouble for being too sexy and raunchy during a performance. In 2010, during the UK X Factor finale, Rihanna performed What's My Name. During this performance, Rihanna wore a bra top and high-waisted cheeky bottoms while moving her hips seductively. Well, after that performance, over 2,000 people complained, saying it was too sexy and not family appropriate.
On to number 9, canceled concerts. Due to illness, the then 25-year-old singer canceled her concerts, causing uproar among fans in Houston and Dallas. A screenshot of a comment that Rihanna left on a picture was shared by one Instagram user. Comment made by @BadGalRiri, Rihanna's official Instagram handle, in an attempt to calm down some of the Rihanna Navy's less than satisfied members. Like a true fan, the individual re-Instagrammed the singer's explanation, adding, "Damn Ree, well your health is more important than anything, and if your fans don't realize that, then they aren't true fans. I could care less about this tour if you aren't feeling well. I'll pray for your strength." Live Nation asked fans to hang onto their tickets so they can be honored at a later date. Happy healthy Rihanna will be worth the wait.
And at number 8, we have Diamond's World Tour. Fans in the Netherlands were very disappointed during the 2013 concert. Apparently, Rihanna spent the whole day shopping, and I guess she was tired, because according to concert goers, she rarely danced, and instead of singing the song, she just murmured a few of her famous lyrics during the show and left the rest to a backing track. A music critic even wrote that her performance, and I quote, "felt like a Valium overdose." Wow, that's very harsh.
Counting down to number 7, Rihanna's fans are always among the most devoted. Everything she creates under her Fenty brand is quickly snapped up and purchased by consumers, and her social media posts immediately receive thousands of comments and millions of views. Her new music, which she has teased repeatedly, has been eagerly anticipated by her fans. In an anticipation of an update, fans remain glued to her social media accounts for some time. Rihanna's nonsense posts in which she urges her followers to purchase something have caused fans to explode. She has failed to meet their needs for pure music. Rihanna clearly has nothing more to say other than that she is excited to show off her super fit body to her fans. On a typical day, people would be raving about how beautiful she is and how great she looks in her barely there bra and underwear set all over this post. This time, no. The fans are fed up. Rihanna is primarily known for her work as a recording artist. She was first seen as a singer, and they want to hear more of her music. She's gone so far as to tease it, and the fact that she would drag the tease on for such a long time while remaining present enough to suggest that fans continue to spend money on her products seems insulting. Fans are losing affection for this old dance and song. They are clearly frustrated to the point where they have even begun to lose interest in the supposedly forthcoming new music.
Coming in at number 6, we have The Attack. Now, this is a crazy one, folks, so I hope you're ready. This is said to be one of the most infamous concert mishaps of all time. Back in 2013, during the Diamonds World Tour that I was recently talking about, Rihanna was in England when she smacked one of her fans. Yes, you heard me right. So during the performance, Rihanna walked through the crowd. One of her fans got excited and grabbed her arm. Instead of security stepping in, Rihanna took her sparkling gold microphone and smacked her fan in the head with it. She then continued on with her song completely unfazed. Now, some fans said that the attack on the fan was on purpose, but Rihanna shut down those rumors by saying that the girl wouldn't let go of her arm, so she kinda had no choice.
Number 5 on our countdown, the Fenty show, which caused fans to question Rhee's choices. Rihanna selected a controversial male celebrity for her upcoming Savage X Fenty Volume 1 featured star moment. Johnny Depp is the star of the Volume 4 show. Her fans, on the other hand, aren't happy with the news, calling it a questionable choice in light of Depp's trial against his ex-wife Amber Heard. The show, which premiered on Prime Video on November 9, features celebrity appearances other than the actor from the Pirates of the Caribbean. Rihanna's show features performances by Burna Boy, Anita, Winston Duke, Cheryl Lee Ralph, who won an Emmy for her work in Abbott Elementary, Simu Liu, who stars in Marvel Shang-Chi, Taraji P. Henson, Irina Shayk, and Marsai Martin. Even though the Depp vs. Heard trial was largely decided in Depp's favor, people did not completely absolve him of allegations, which is why the news has caused controversy. They noted on Twitter that Rihanna is not the first artist to make a questionable decision. They do not see the need for Depp at a lingerie show when there are so many other unproblematic men around. Comment if you agree.
At number 4, we have the heckling. In 2018, Rihanna performed at the Grammy Awards in New York City's Madison Square Garden. Rihanna was performing her hit song Wild Thoughts alongside DJ Khaled and Bryson Tiller. However, this performance received a lot of criticism. People were not a fan of her vocals. One fan online tweeted, and I quote, "Rihanna's voice sounding like Wild Thoughts at the Grammys." Another fan said, and I quote, "Rihanna sounds like she was struggling, and that's that." And worst of all, one fan wrote, "Please take Rihanna off the stage." Ouch, Rihanna deserves better than that.
Number 3 is her failed press tour. Rihanna invited a group of journalists on a press tour after her Unapologetic album came out, but unfortunately, it didn't get the coverage she had hoped for. Instead, the singer was criticized for her absence and the trip's poor organization. Good luck again next time. One of the many reasons we love this singer turned businesswoman is that she doesn't put on a front or act like she's above anyone else, despite having a strong mindset and acting as she pleases. What do you think of this singer? And which of her performances particularly awed you? Comment your thoughts.
And at number 2, we have the late arrival. In 2016, Rihanna was booed by 60,000 fans at a Belgian festival after arriving to the show an hour late. To make matters worse, Rihanna lip-synced the entire show. So when Rihanna first arrived on stage, instead of cheering her on, fans started booing her. I mean, if I were attending the show, I would be upset as well. I don't know if I would boo her though, but I would be mad if she didn't sing live. In fact, many fans left the stage altogether. However, Rihanna blamed her lateness on a wardrobe malfunction, despite her only wearing one outfit for the entire show.
And finally, number 1, let's take a moment to appreciate Rhee's iconic and savage style. Rihanna's penchant for public displays is not new. In fact, her winning persona is centered on her flamboyant attitude. Just listen to her irresistible vocal delivery in Work. The prolific Barbados-born singer with the smoky, sultry voice, captivating looks, and social media savvy has, over the course of her career, dominated every red carpet she has graced. Shot shots from a diamond flask at the Grammys, shared her love of turning up with the world, and put body shamers in their place. It's hard to look away from Rihanna when she's doing her thing, whether you like her or not.
Rihanna was working this Super Bowl halftime show. It was her first show after not being on tour for 7 years. Seems so hard to believe. But fans were thrilled. Even more thrilled when Rihanna got down on the ground and started twerking with her backup dancers. That's when fans went wild. So let's talk about that moment from her iconic performance. Rihanna took stage in an all-red look while her backup dancers sported an all-white look. The show began with Rihanna on a floating platform high up singing "Be Better Have My Money." She then sang "Where Have You Been?" followed by "Only Girl in the World." She definitely had the audience hooked from the start. But what fans noticed is her lack of dancing. While on the floating platforms, she did mainly hand movements and slight leg movements, but nothing big. Now, that might be because she is hooked onto the platform so she doesn't accidentally fall off of it. But even when she was off the platform, she barely did any dance moves. That was until halfway through her performance when she got way more into it. In fact, she got so into it, she started feeling herself. Quite literally, when she grabbed her crotch, and at one point started to slap her own butt with the backup dancers. But people lost their minds when Rihanna got down on the ground and started twerking alongside her backup dancers. Before that, her backup dancers were on the floor doing hip thrusts while Rihanna smiled at them doing so. That happened during her song Work. Now, the music video for that song also features a lot of grinding and twerking and hip thrusting, so it's only natural for her to feature some of those moves in her halftime show. Now, when she started singing Pour It Up, that's when the twerking started. Her backup dancers got down and were twerking in sync, and that's when Rihanna joined in on the fun. And let me just say, the crowd went wild. You could hear them get louder and start screaming and cheering her on. But if you're a fan of Rihanna, then you understand that the whole body loving and booty shaking is part of her act. Tons of her music videos and performances highlight her showing off her amazing curvy figure. In the past, Rihanna has received backlash for actually acting too sexy during her performances. In 2010, during the UK X Factor finale, Rihanna performed What's My Name. During this performance, Rihanna wore a bra top and high-waisted cheeky bottoms while moving her hips seductively. Well, after that performance, over 2,000 people complained, saying it was too sexy and not family appropriate. I swear, only Rihanna would get in trouble for being too sexy. And of course, some people are not a fan of all the booty shaking in her Super Bowl performance. What do you think though? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Starting off with number 10, twerking. It's hard not to twerk to Rihanna's songs, so I get why she was dropping it low during her performance at the Super Bowl halftime show. Rihanna is known for her sexy songs and moves, so for a family-friendly show, it is as non-explicit as it could get from Rhee. The performance included her 2016 #1 Work, which segued into Wild Thoughts and Pour It Up, which she accompanied with some twerking. And even though she was wearing an extremely baggy outfit, we all knew the twerking was an important aspect of her performance, which was followed by her dancers. On to number 9, raunchy dance moves and hip thrusting. It doesn't just stop at the twerking. Rhee was busting out all kinds of raunchy moves for her performance. At one point, she was standing at one end while singing, with all her backup dancers rhythmically thrusting towards her. The sensual moves accompanied her song Wild Thoughts, which makes sense since the rhythm of the song makes you want to dance slow on tempo. On to number 8, seductively looking into the camera. With the stunning eye makeup, which I'm guessing was accomplished using none other than the Fenty makeup, Rihanna started the set while looking directly at the camera and into our souls sensually, with her striking eye makeup adding to the stare. This started off her performance with her first track, Be Better Have My Money, and sees her floating on a platform. Number 7, the savage opening song, Be Better Have My Money. As we all know, the largely watched Super Bowl is known for its family-friendly aspect, so having the queen of explicit, Rihanna, performing would have bent the rules in some form. When the performance started, we see Rihanna performing one of her extremely explicit songs, Be Better Have My Money, and even though she doesn't sing the curse word, not much is left to the imagination, especially for her large fan base who would have most probably been singing along without filtering themselves even in the stadium. Number 6, crotch grab. Rihanna was obviously feeling herself during her Girl Boss halftime show, so there's no surprise she was touching on herself to her set list. With a close-up shot, we see Rihanna really enjoying herself while grabbing her crotch to let haters know she does not care what they gotta say and how she has control and power over herself.
We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with her outfit. Now, don't get me wrong, Rihanna's outfit was not revealing compared to some of the outfits that she's worn in past performances. Rihanna wore a red jumpsuit with a red bodysuit underneath. Now, the one thing that caught viewers' attention was this chest area of the outfit. It wasn't just a normal bodysuit, it had like a latex detail to accentuate her bust. I absolutely love the outfit, and it's definitely less scandalous than her revealing actual cleavage. In our 4th spot, we have the cat moves. Now, I genuinely was confused when Rihanna was singing Pour It Up because she had some interesting choice dance moves, including imitating what seemed to be a cat, using her hands to groom her hair like how cats do. Quite interesting. In our 3rd spot, we have the song choices. Now, I'm a huge fan of Rihanna, and she has amazing songs. During the Super Bowl halftime show, she picked some of her most viral hits, including Work, Umbrella, Wild Thoughts, and more. Now, the song was censored, but it's not the most appropriate song because of the lyrics, for a Super Bowl show. Coming in at number 2, we have the belly rub. It seems as if Rihanna announced her pregnancy with baby number 2 at the Super Bowl halftime show. Rihanna started the show by zipping down her red jumpsuit a bit more to show off her belly bump, and then she gave her belly a little rub. She then left the zipper down on her outfit to show off the baby bump. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for Rihanna. Do you think it's going to be a boy or a girl? Let me know in the comments below. And in our number 1 spot today, we have the booty grab. During Rihanna's performance of Rude Boy, she had her back to the camera while she placed her hand on her bum before grabbing it in front of the camera. She gave her cheek 2 squeezes before slapping her bum. It's iconic if you ask me. Rihanna just performed at the Super Bowl halftime show live in front of millions of people. The star took stage rocking a red jumpsuit with latex leather details around her chest, while her backup dancers wore completely white outfits. Performing tons of hit songs, Rihanna definitely rocked the stage. And of course, there were some very memorable moments from the show. One in particular moment that has shocked audiences everywhere was when Rihanna raunchily grabbed her crotch and did some hip thrusts. That's not the only crazy moment. During Rihanna's song Work, there were a lot more hip thrusts. And lastly, while singing Pour It Up, Rihanna got down and started twerking with her backup dancers. This caused a huge reaction and the audience members were cheering her on. This was definitely a halftime performance we will never forget.